And you're on.
Good morning, Mojave County. This is Janssen Villegas with the Janssen Show, and today we have the luxury of having our own Vice Mayor, Mr. Steve D'Amico.
Woohoo!
Woo, woo, woo.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you so much for being on the show with us. I wanted to introduce you and then kind of just get a little bit of background, and kind of see, what you're all about. So that being the case, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Steve D'Amico. I've lived in Bullhead City for approximately 18 years now. What brought me here, I came out for a weekend of fun and sun. I was working and living in Vegas. We had a 3-month-old son, me and my wife, and I looked around and I said, you know what? I think we're moving out here in 2 weeks.
That quick, huh?
Didn't want my son going to school in Vegas, and I just fell in love right away.
Nice.
And so we've been out here for 18 years. My son was in Malk from kindergarten till graduation this last
cool.
year, and I realized I made one of the best decisions of my life coming out here. I love this community.
That's cool.
Yeah, I grew up in this area myself, so I love it as well. Where are you originally from? Are you originally from Las Vegas in that area?
I'm originally from a place that's kind of like Beverly Hills. Maybe you heard of it, San Bernardino, California.
I'm familiar.
Is that really like Beverly Hills?
Not even. No. That was a joke. If anyone knows that area, they know it's
I thought that was the Inland Empire.
Yeah,
I haven't been to California. It's like, oh, wow.
San Bernardino.
Yeah. That sounds more like it.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. So you grew up there majority of your life,
Yes.
and then you moved to Vegas. How old were you when you moved to Vegas?
Well, I went in the army. I left California. I was in basic training 19 days after I turned 17, and then when I got out of the army, I did a little bit in California, a little bit. Then I went out, kind of did the same thing with Vegas. Went out for a weekend of fun and sun, and of course I was younger then. I was more about the exciting life as opposed to the quiet life, and I moved out there. I lived in Vegas for, I want to say, 15 years.
So you went to Vegas chasing the exciting life, and then once you had a
Then once I
child,
got a little older, I said I'm ready for the quiet family life.
and you found yourself here in Bullhead
I found
City.
myself here. You couldn't find a better place to raise a family.
Well, we're pleasured to have had the blessing of having you down here. I do have a few questions I have written down. The first one that I want to ask, because I'm all about the fun and sun, is what you like to do for fun. It sounds like you're a pretty busy man, so I appreciate you, fitting in this particular time during your day. And I'm just kind of curious what you do for fun. Do you like to go fishing? Do you hunt? You watch sports? It sounds like you watch sports.
I'm a Raider fan. Yeah, I watch football. I'm kind of boring, really. Actually, I just enjoy spending time with my family, no matter what we're doing. If we're fishing, if we're watching sports, if we're barbecuing, just mainly spending time with my family. Now, I do have a new addiction of going to St. Thomas once a year.
Okay.
That's an expensive addiction.
What's in St. Thomas?
Just nothing. Just peace, quiet, tranquility. The only place I don't watch TV, no social media, nothing for the whole 2 weeks we're there. Just good family time.
Okay, so you reset out there.
I reset out there, and I'm good for another year.
Is it like you go to a cabin, or do you have family out there?
No, I do Airbnb there. Just
Okay,
rent
cool.
someone's condo on the water.
You're like, let's get out of town for a
Yes,
little bit.
yes.
That's awesome. So obviously you're running for mayor. It sounds like as well.
Yes.
What brought you? Obviously you're vice mayor, so it kind of makes sense. But it sounds like when you first got into it, it was because you thought, hey, there's kind of a simple solution to adjust the street, like taxes on our street, and it sounds like you kind of implemented something there. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we were talking before the show about that.
Right.
It was 8 years ago, and the city was proposing a 1% sales tax to fix the roads, and they were pretty much selling it that if we don't do this, everyone's car is going to fall into potholes, and there's no plan B. And I said, that's crazy. I said, the cities have neglected our roads for years, and now they're coming after us to save the day. And I said, this is a pretty simple plan B. I said, you know what? You go out there and you do 20% of the roads every year. Go find the worst roads first. That's one of the first things I did. Me and Mayor Brady, we went around and drove the whole city and found the worst streets, the best streets. Mm-hmm. And then you start with the worst streets, and then every 5 years you're getting your streets done. They're not perfect, but it's a lot better than they were.
Absolutely.
A lot better than they were. And now that we got in, they made some decisions to buy our own equipment and do it in-house, so there's more savings. And actually last year we did about 33% of the roads.
I feel like the city's been transitioning to a lot of in-house, even with, I think, the water company, we're doing that in-house as well now, right?
Yes.
I think it sounds like even internet, we're transitioning to fiber in-house. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
No, that's it's kind of in-house. It's from Mojave Electric, which is a co-op.
Okay.
But yeah, The city doesn't have anything to do with that.
Okay, so it'd be through Mojave Electric specifically.
Yes, yes.
Gotcha. That's pretty cool. So what would you change or do first if you did become our mayor?
Oh man, there's so many plans for the future. This is how long is this show?
30 minutes. So yeah,
we probably
just
need
give
about,
us one.
We need about 6 hours. Well, I'm going to tell you one of the big things on my plate that I've been wanting to do for a while, and now that we have the funds to do it, we could do it. I don't know if you've been to our animal shelter, ever went in there.
Yeah.
Have you been to Alcatraz too?
It's similar.
It's the
It is
same.
similar,
I
yeah.
believe it's the same brick and mortar that they built in there. It's no good in there. And so we got plans to do a new shelter, a brand new shelter.
Cool.
And just doing the building alone isn't going to solve the problem. It looks nicer and everything, but we're also trying to get a veterinarian in there and then start partnering up with a lot of these nonprofits. And then I want to separate animal control back to PD, where they just take care of the animal control part, and I just want the shelter people taking care of the shelter.
Very nice.
Wow, that's a really good.
No one speaks for the animals, but I do. Someone's got to speak for
I'm
them.
a big dog lover.
They're innocent.
This probably isn't a good thing to say when you're running for office, but I actually like dogs and
cats, dogs, doesn't matter.
More than people these days. I
I have to agree with you.
They're
I
honest
think most
to you.
people would agree with that.
They're not going to lie to you. If they
Right.
either they like you, they'll let you
loyal.
know. They don't like you, they'll let you know.
True.
That's awesome. So that's actually a great starting point, because it is a little depressing, the way that the animals are, it's not like they're sitting there, being tortured, but at the same time, it's not really an up-to-date facility, I feel like. And I feel like I've heard a lot of friends that do have, animal emergency, they tend to need to leave to Kingman. I believe that tends to be like a common occurrence. So I think that's a great place to start. In regards to, like, what are some of the roles of being mayor? I mean, we would assume that it is you're constantly being busy, and going to meetings and stuff. But what is the foundation of being a mayor?
It is a full-time job. Basically, you're leading the council through every process of the city. You don't have a lot more power than a regular council member, but you are the one leading it. So,
Makes sense.
on a lot of issues, you could bring stuff forward a little easier than the council members can. Like, it takes 2 council members to bring something onto the agenda. You as mayor can bring it up on your own. And you're spending more time with the city manager and with the staff, so you get a little more in depth into what's really going on.
And how many people are on council? I mean, how many people consist of your party?
You have 6 council members and the mayor, so 7 total.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day.
Every single day. What do you think would be one of the main challenges that you foresee in that role?
One of the main challenges right now is alleviating traffic. Highway 95 is getting pretty congested.
It's gnarly.
But just like I said, if you had more time, I could go over every issue. We got a plan for everything.
Nope, we only got 30 minutes.
Okay.
No, that's awesome.
Well, Highway 95, Leo Biasucci and Sonny Borelli got us money to get the highway paved, which is fine and dandy, so it'll be a little smoother, but that doesn't do anything with congestion. We're lobbying actually them right now to get funding through all the infrastructure money from the federal government to do approximately 15 to 20 right-hand turn lanes. Now, I live off of Marina. I don't know if you've used that new right-hand turn lane on Marina. It's amazing.
Helped a lot.
It helps a lot.
Yeah,
if we can
I
get
agree.
20 of those going down, that'll help alleviate traffic.
True.
We also have plans for Arcadia Boulevard, Landon Drive bypass, so you literally be able to drive from Walmart all the way to Highway 68 without ever touching Highway 95.
Wow, very cool.
We need to try and figure out as much north-south bypasses that we can do. And we did Laughlin Branch Boulevard originally. That helps a little bit, but there's only so much we can do. But
didn't Laughlin Ranch have a plan to put a bridge over? They tried to put a bridge right there to go across into Laughlin back in the day.
That must have been before my time.
I think it may have been, because I remember when they built that Laughlin Ranch Road, their plans were to build a bridge down there also, but they said it was too close to the Laughlin Bridge.
Now, I will say that I'm gonna go into left field here a little
Do
bit.
it.
But
That's what we like.
Laughlin Ranch Boulevard, not only is that a great road, but for economic development, that is big.
yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure if you know, but when we did Dot Foods, the only reason we got Dot Foods is because Fort Mojave had bad soil.
Really?
And they didn't want to go to the airport. We didn't have any place to put them. The airport is the only place we had land. Since we opened up Laughlin Ranch Boulevard, and I got to give the landowners on each side credit, each side paid 1/3 of the cost for that road, and then the city paid 1/3.
Oh, wow.
So they're open for business. They didn't do that just to have a nice road going through their,
Right.
their,
Wow,
through their
that's
land.
awesome.
So in the near future, we could have the type
Grocery
of,
store, maybe?
I don't know, the type of businesses we
Come
could.
on, let's get it out of you, Steve.
Hey, that's up to the developer. I would okay it if it came
We're
in.
just asking if you know anything.
Yeah. Hey, all I can say is we could bring jobs that we couldn't bring here before because
Cool.
we have the land, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you know the state land next to City Hall got sold also, and they have major plans there for housing. It's going to be kind of like a city center. There are their plans for it. So
So it sounds like regardless of what's going on, you have to genuinely be an active role in the community. Like it sounds like because you've visually see what's going on, you know how to approach and attack certain things, and you see what works.
you need to know what's going on. Walking into mayor, it helps a lot if you've had a little experience and you know, as you could ask some people, where's Section 12, where's Section 20?
Right.
They have no clue.
No.
Well, if you have a developer coming in and said, we want to develop in Section 20, you don't want to say, okay, where's Section 20? It doesn't look good.
Let me check
you,
Google.
Right.
You want to know what's going on with your town, everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely. So you live near Marina. I live in that same little area there near Malik in the Circle K area.
We're probably neighbors.
Yes. Well, what do you think about that area in specific? I mean, there's a lot of like houses being built or double wides being placed down in that area. Do you see that area there growing to a different category?
Absolutely, in the future, and it's happening all over. It happens in L.A. and in areas of Compton where they redeveloped.
Right.
And, the problem is there are a lot of small lots there where
Right.
they're single wides and everything. There was no original master plan because we were county before we were city. They
Okay.
pretty much did everything they want. But I'll tell you, some people say, oh, where do you live? And I'll tell them where I live. Oh, you live down in the ghetto. I'm like, no, actually, I live on one of the best streets in this town.
Right.
I know every one of my neighbors. We're all great. It's kind of old school. We all help each other out
Yeah.
on our street. It's not all bad down there.
Yeah, my neighborhood was really cool. The only thing that was annoying was one individual that lived in front of me, but her trailer burned down, so she's not there anymore.
I don't want to know anything about that. I don't want to
It
know
was
anything
sick.
about that.
As long as no one was hurt. That's
Yeah.
No, it was like 2 a.m. I was just getting knocked on the window. Help me! I just called the cops.
I know not to piss you off now.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I'm like Don Laughlin back in the day,
No wonder his neighborhood's getting cleaned up.
Yeah, they're building all over in that area. So what kind of food do you like to prepare? It sounds like, barbecue is kind of the thing. Is there anything specific you like to cook? I like to talk about food because I like cooking myself.
You like eating more than cooking.
I like
Very
eating.
true.
My wife is just an unbelievable cook. As a matter of fact, here in the near future, we already own one small business. My wife has, as a matter of fact, she got Best Business Bullhead for her.
Oh,
for her
what business?
Salon by Houston.
Okay, cool.
And we're considering opening another.
Shout out Salon by Houston.
We're considering opening another small business with healthy food. My
Okay.
wife is an unbelievable cook. Now I'm a meat eater. She's vegetarian. My son's vegetarian.
Oh, wow.
I went to a football party at my friend's house, and she made some vegetarian dip. And you know us guys, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
My friends are gonna make fun of me
Like,
and everything.
where's the meat?
Come on,
Yeah,
babe.
well, she made them out of cashews,
Oh.
and
Oh.
I took a little piece. I was like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable!" My
Yeah.
friends tore it up. We ate the dip before anybody touched the wings or the pizza. It was just unbelievable.
Wow,
Cool.
that sounds good.
And we need more healthy food places out here.
I agree.
And I'll give you another example. One time she made homemade chicken noodle soup for me, homemade chicken noodle soup for her and my son. Well, there's a vegetarian, of course.
Right.
She come home and says, "You didn't eat your soup. You want me to freeze it?"
Oh, you ate all of theirs.
I ate there. I said, I ate all my soup. She said, no, you ate ours. I was even picking the chicken out and couldn't tell the difference.
Whoops.
But had you told me it was vegetarian, I never would have touched it.
We have a few questions in the chat. I'd like to let the people that are watching get their questions in.
Absolutely.
We have a Harvey Pyre that says, river safety, what would you like to see?
Actually, Harvey's trying to get us to, and we're trying to. We need some boat training, some safety training out there, and it's almost impossible to find right now.
Right.
You think we'd be able to get it through the park rangers or anybody out in Havasu? But you can tell Harvey we are working on that.
Okay.
We're trying.
Well, he's listening.
I know. We're diligently trying to get something done about that, and Harvey has brought a lot to. Actually, I got to give Harvey credit.
The RC park.
He did the RC park.
Yeah.
He's gotten
Wow.
body cams for PD.
yeah.
And I know I'm missing something else. Harvey, I'm sure he'll remind me later.
Well, I'll let you
but-
know when he does.
Yes, but Harvey's.
Let us know, Harvey.
What is it, Harvey? What did we miss? But he's brought stuff to the council, and we've got it done for him. And this is another thing that we're going to get done for him. It may take a little time, but I assure you we will get it done.
Cool.
Do you think the community should be a little bit more vocal about things? I mean, is there a lot of community involvement when it comes to making decisions within the community, or do you think there should be a lot like, hey, community, we need you to come forward?
I absolutely. The community needs to bring stuff to us instead of just, I hate to say it, but bitching and moaning on social media.
Right.
Sometimes we see that, sometimes we don't. But
Right.
if you bring it to us, Harvey is a good example. Harvey's brought stuff to us, and we've got it done for him.
Okay.
You need to talk to your council members, talk to the mayor.
Have a little more faith that, things get done once you vocalize
Yeah,
them.
a lot of people just assume, well, they're not going to listen to us.
Right.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to listen to everybody every time. I might not always give you the answer you want, but,
Right.
but I will listen to you. And
You're not that out of reach,
No, no.
it's not that hard to vocalize or, express a concern to be able to address something.
Not at all.
It sounds like a traffic enforcement patrol. Something that they've mentioned they're working towards is, figuring out traffic on the highway.
And that's going there, too, with enforcement.
That's another question that's in the chat right now.
Okay, read me the question.
We need traffic enforcement patrol. Too many crazy drivers and accidents.
And I agree 100%. Highway 95 is crazy. Right now, we have a couple plans. We're trying to get more officers out on the street because visibility is the only way you're going to stop things.
Right.
Well, we're looking at park rangers right now. They have no law enforcement authority whatsoever. We're looking at maybe giving them some authority, so we're not using PD to go to the park for every little skirmish or every little open container ticket or something like that. We get more on there. And Davis Camp, they have their own private law enforcement there. But our PD answered approximately 233 calls there last year.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So I'm lobbying the county supervisors, and the sheriff is okay with this. He agrees he'd like to take over the park, but we need the Mojave County sheriffs to take over Davis Camp. That'll free up and give us more officers too.
For sure.
Because I've had people say, well, like the drive-by shooting that happened. Well, how come you couldn't stop that? You can't stop that.
No.
If someone's
No.
going to do that, they're going to do that.
Right.
However, if you have more visibility out there and they know that PD's out there, they might think twice before they do something. Like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
If a police officer is patrolling an area a few times a week,
Yes.
there's less likeliness of bad things happening in that area, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can't always just keep boosting our PD officers. We need to get some outside help as well.
Yes, and we're also doing stuff on like small investigations and everything. We're hiring civilians to do that. That have usually it's retired law enforcement or
Right.
something. They go out there and do that. That's also saving time for officers.
Like private investigating?
Yeah, for like minor stuff,
Right. Like we have a house that's been hot because they're selling a bunch of drugs.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not hot. That's
Well, we'll have to talk after the show.
not. No, I'll title telling everybody,
Hey,
especially with drugs.
yeah. I grew up, like I said, in San Bernardino, the old days. Oh, you don't snitch. Well, I'm sorry. I care more about my kids and the kids in the community
Yeah.
than someone.
That's what it comes down to. Is you're technically you're witnessing somebody kill kids or teenagers because you see what happens afterwards, or with fentanyl being as crazy as it is, it's just it's almost like a shameful thing not to come forward and say, hey, out of this home people are dying. I mean, that's kind of how it boils down if you want to be extremist about things.
And if you sit back and let it happen, you're almost just as guilty
Yeah,
as the
you
people
are.
that are doing it.
You absolutely are. I've witnessed a lot of friends and family kind of go down really, really hard paths because they're introduced to things at such a young age, and then how do you cope with all that stuff? Leaving high school, for example, you go from drugs in high school to drugs out of high school with no direction out of high school to just a curse. I would say that's why they call it a war on drugs. Thank you, Steve, for advocating for the new animal shelter. What can the city do to enforce responsible pet ownership?
That's Diane Mack.
Hi, Diane. That one's a tough one, and that's the biggest problem. Is these poor animals. I mean, it's the humans that are doing it.
Right.
It's irresponsible animal owners. I wish we could, and maybe I don't know. Maybe we can going forward get some legislation through the state to start making these people more responsible for their actions. I know the state just finally last year they made new abuse laws on animals, but you see people. Christmas time comes around, they see a cute little puppy. Oh, let's get that puppy.
Right.
6 months later, oh, it poops, it pees. Yeah, well, that's what dogs do.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can't have it now. They turn it in the shelter. Well,
I just wanted the pictures.
yeah, that it's not fair. I believe the people should be in the shelter, not the dogs.
Yeah,
I agree.
it makes sense. I think like you said, the animals are innocent. They can't speak for themselves, and they're extremely loyal. So they're at your mercy. You know, that they live for you. So I would say, in regards to that, it would probably be a matter of speaking up as an individual. It says here another question. What type of solutions could you foresee for the homeless scenario? And I don't mean to bombard you with
No, that's fine.
questions, you know.
Actually, my first...
It's an interactive show. He's cool.
Yeah, ask me anything. That's what I'm
Yeah,
here for.
that's right.
America.
Now and when I'm here. Anyway, I believe it was my first month in city council. The problem was brought to our attention then.
Yeah.
I actually went down to Oakland for 3 days and toured the facilities down there, all the homeless shelters and everything, found out what was working, what wasn't working. And the only program at one place that was working was pretty much what it is, tough love.
Yeah.
I'm all about helping anyone that needs help. Stuff happens.
Right.
Good people get into drugs.
That's
good
right.
people become homeless.
Yep.
It doesn't mean you're a bad person.
No.
But there is a fine line between homeless and transient.
True.
So I'm all about us helping anyone and everyone we can that wants help. Now the transients that are just living out in the encampments,
Yeah.
and I'll see someone on social media say, "It's Christmas. I just bought my girl this girl's BMX bike and it got stolen. Can anyone help me?" And then you see we're cleaning up an encampment, and what's there? The same color
Right.
girl's BMX bike.
Right.
And so the ones that don't want help, I'm about clearing up these encampments. When the shelter's open, we have a place for them to go. We have every resource. Now, if you don't want the help, then I'm sorry. It's tough love.
Right.
Get out of the encampment. We don't really want you here in town.
Yeah, give them a chance, and then if they can't clean it up, then oh well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yes,
It's not a
because
free pass. It's an help, you
'cause
know, to advocate.
You could just look down the road to California and see what happens when you don't do anything about it and you let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
And then for a town that's already kind of congesting, you know, it's kind of tricky to have that type of problem without, you know, like obviously you want to be human and take care of people, but tough love is a great way of going about that scenario. In town, is there anything, like if you could envision our town in 10 years, how would you envision it?
I envision, and kind of what we're doing now, more stuff out there for the locals. I've seen that for years too. Well, you guys are always putting baseball fields out there. You're doing this. What about the locals? Well, now we're acting on that. Better late than never.
Right.
I'm not sure if you watch the council meetings. We just approved a $700,000 splash pad for community park.
Wow.
We have plans at where the skate park is. Jeff was there. I'm not sure if you heard the plans for that, but we're doing a pump track.
I didn't.
It's kind of like BMX, but it's paved and it's for all ages.
Okay.
We're also going to have a state-of-the-art splash pad there too. Probably
Cool.
approximately $1 million for that one. We just did the RC track for Harvey Pryor, and
That's
I was amazed at the people that were out there. So we're doing more for the community. That's what I like to see going forward. It's a fair balance, you know.
Right.
People say we're a senior retirement area. We're just for
Snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
Yeah.
We're just for that. Well, no, we're a multi-use. We have
That's right.
every aspect.
The
there.
younger generation's coming up fast.
Yes, but
Yeah.
you got to provide for everybody.
That's right.
And especially with the kids, you need as much out there you could do for these kids. They stay out of trouble. They
Yep.
stay fit. So that's
Get them in the right direction.
Yeah,
Yes.
if there's more items for kids to do, then there's less for kids to explore. You know,
Yes.
so I think that's amazing. That makes the most sense, is having more community activities. Is the regatta still going on, or is that still a thing here in town?
Where have you been?
No, right?
Regatta's,
It's gone, right?
Regatta's been gone for years.
It's been
Yeah.
out the window for
Yeah.
a couple years now. Yeah.
Is that something that you see coming back at all?
No.
Was that,
I hope not.
Was that too much controversy?
It was too much controversy. It split the
Ruins the
town in
river.
half, and I went through the numbers, and we actually did better on tax revenue, which means your stores are all doing better
Yeah.
without Regatta than we did with Regatta.
Right.
I know a lot of people did like it. I liked it. We competed in the first 3 regattas with floats from our business.
Right.
But it got way too big for its britches.
Got a little out of hand.
Got a little out of hand, and
Yeah.
once it gets there, it's hard to go back down.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And
Well,
I,
it's not like the locals can't float down the river if they wanted to, you know.
Sure,
No,
you can
we
do that
actually-
anytime you want.
we did it a couple years ago. About a week before, we used one of the services out here. God, I'm brain dead right now. I can't think of.
I offered him
Hel-
coffee. He doesn't. drink
Helen
coffee.
Howard has the kayak company.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we use them, and they took us out early.
Cool.
In the
Yeah, I'd
morning.
recommend not going out there on a float during the summer.
No, not
It's
at
a little
all.
dangerous.
No, too many.
I hate to say it, but I don't even recommend going in that river on a weekend. It's so crazy out there.
Yeah.
No.
I sold my boat. I'm done. I do my boating out in the Virgin Islands now.
Yeah, it's
a little safer.
traffic.
Yes.
Too much traffic out there. And then there's a lot of inexperienced drivers drinking, and for me, it's not the most exciting thing.
And that's why we're working on anything we could do with river safety. That's why Harvey was asking about that, because Harvey's very well aware of the problems we have out there. And it's sad that there's not an easy answer to that.
No. But, I think that just being aware that there is an issue there, that in itself is a good problem to have, because we can move towards figuring out a solution.
Absolutely.
So, you got a lot on your plate. It sounds like what keeps you moving forward? I mean, what's your why?
Motivation.
I actually have passion. This town has been good to me. It's good to I just love this town. Like I think I told you earlier, the reason I got on is, I'm sitting back and I was kind of like everyone else, I'm bitching, well, this sucks, that's no good, why don't they do this? And I realized, well, instead of me sitting here bitching about it, why don't I do something about it?
Right,
and since I've been on, I've like I said, later on we'll have another show or something. I need a lot of time to explain all the stuff we did through the last 8 years, but it just really feels good. It brings joy to me to see stuff get done, especially for the kids and the animals and to see pretty much everyone.
Where do you feel the reward? Do you feel like is it at the beginning of an idea that you implement, or is it once you see it actually playing its role, like once you see the kids playing on the splash pad, or when is it that you feel that satisfaction?
Actually, when I see after the fact, when you see the kids out there, and there's a couple things. I'll give you an example. One of the things I brought to the council, and this year will be the 6th anniversary, is the end of summer splash bash. Now, I started thinking, I said, there's a lot of kids here. Our poverty rate, we're 26% of our population is under the poverty rate. And that's not good numbers.
No.
And I started thinking, I said, some of these kids, they go the whole summer and they don't get to do anything. Sometimes they would have, nonprofits would have events out here with a water slide and everything, but it costs $10 to go do it. The kids don't have $10, and they're sitting back watching the other kids have fun. So I decided to bring one event annually right before school starts again, so the kids, everything's free. They have water slides. They have a big balloon fight. All the food is free. Beverages free. Open swim. Just unbelievable event. And the first year, our Park and Recs manager, Dave Heath, he announced that I was there, and he said, if you see this tall guy wearing a city shirt, his name is Steve, well on him with a water balloon. And I had the cutest little 5-year-old kid come up to me and look up to me, and he says, are you Steve? And I said, yeah. And he went, boom, right there. And let me tell you.
He put a hit on you.
that made my day. Every bit of all the effort. And then I told my son went with me the first year. And he said, Dad, you did a good event when you see the kids crying because they don't want to leave.
Really? Yeah, that's
and I was like, how many of these kids would not have had that opportunity?
I agree.
It's not going to help them every day of their life, but at least one day a year, I know regardless of what your income bracket is, who you are, you could have a day of fun and not have to worry about anything.
Something they'll never forget.
Awesome.
Something else, yes.
I love that a lot.
And there's no feeling like that. You said what drives you. It's hard to explain that feeling, but knowing that you did something good like that, I just have nothing but passion for it.
Good
That's
deed.
awesome,
That's
man.
a good deed right there.
I love that, 100%. Do you have any pets or anything like that at home?
Yes. I had 3. Unfortunately, I lost my baby girl, and I have a blue and gold macaw who keeps me on my toes.
They're loud.
Well, he likes to mess with me. He knows that I've had him since he was a baby. I hand fed him, and he knows how to harass me.
Really?
He's got you, huh?
Yeah, and then he has my laugh too.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll be sitting in the other room and I'll watch. My name is Earl or something, and I'm laughing my butt off, and then the bird starts laughing, and my wife hollers from the other room, "Who's here?" Nobody. It's just me and Rocky. But the animals bring joy to my life too, because they're actually genuine. Unlike. Unfortunately, the world we live in today, a lot of people are angry at each other.
It's a crazy world right now. There's a lot of negativity.
We're divided by everything nowadays.
Yeah.
People need to lighten up and start loving their neighbor again, man. Who cares what party you're with? Who cares what color you are? Who cares what sex you are?
I agree.
Let's all be neighbors again.
Yeah, just to be humans, just human factor, and just treat people with the golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. I think that's the best way to go about it. I've always said that because I watched Pinocchio, and I've really stuck with the Pinocchio, where he says that Jiminy Cricket. Well, he says, let your conscience be your guide, and his little Jiminy Cricket. So growing up, I always told my mom, oh no, I don't know, my Jiminy Cricket says I shouldn't do this or I shouldn't do that, you know.
And you for sure don't lie.
It worked for me, you know, so I always stuck with that.
I'm gonna have to go watch that now. I'm a little older. Going back in time. I don't.
Pinocchio's cool.
So Patricia says that you're a man of action, which I appreciate. That's Patricia Wesner.
Thanks, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia.
Try to get to everybody's chat here. Like I said, we're only on 30 minutes, which is already up. Went quick, huh?
Yeah, very quick.
Oh, wow.
But we appreciate everybody in the chat that is tuned in and gave remarks in the chat. We try to be interactive here with the show, and I know Steve appreciates all the comments and everything that's gone on. And yeah, man, this is very informative. I think people enjoy having you here, and God, I look forward to having you on again.
I agree.
We need some more info out of you.
Yeah,
Plus,
we could keep going.
The last thing I want to say is you mentioned that you did some little comedy.
Yes,
and
yes.
maybe we could do a little comedy section on the next show. Maybe.
We better let me get in as mayor.
It's in the air.
Yeah, once you're mayor, yeah. That way we want to make sure you get in first.
Not exactly children's material, but I did very well in stand-up.
Stand-up comedy.
Problem is there's no money in it unless you some of the best comedians are still out there today and will never make it.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And then some producer likes them, and next thing you know, they're a star and they're making money.
That's right.
Well, I got a family to take care of, so I
can't just hope on that. You got to make sure it's set solid before you do something like that. Yeah,
God knows why He put you where you're at. You know, obviously you're influencing a lot. But Mr. D'Amico, anything that you'd like to say to the public before we wrap it up?
Just thank you, everybody. I'm available on social media. You can get ahead if you ever have any concerns or problems with the city. I prefer you use the city avenues first. But if you're not getting anywhere, you absolutely contact me, and I'll make sure we get it done for you.
Awesome.
A man of action. We appreciate you being on the show with us. We appreciate all the big things that you're doing, and pleasure to meet you more than anything.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. We'll see you again for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Later, guys.
All right, guys.